My skin is going back to like regular texture. No more clippeth face. That's nice. There's nothing. Kellyanne was talking about it too. This is how you know we were in the bottom of the clippeth. Our face looks like plastic dough dolls. Like we're clowns and stuff. It's really gross. So I call it clippeth face. Because it doesn't feel or look human. It feels like we're Play-Doh dolls. It's pretty gross. So when I was talking about it with the Ascension Protocol video, Kelly was like, yeah, my face was looking like plasticky like that too. I'm like, yeah, that's because you're in the bottom of the fucking clippeth with me. So Kelly's definitely the head of Ravenclaw. That's gonna be fun. Last night I was doing I'm doing the healings and the cleanings on the dragons, and I was doing some stuff on Kelly, and I was like, get better than me, Kelly. Get better. Get better. Get better. Get smarter. Get faster. Get better. Climb. Because if Kelly can hold her, when Kelly holds her own and just begins to fucking fly, then we're in business. So when we're like, I'm tough as shit, and then she's tough and then smart as shit, and I'm the head of Gryffindor and she's Ravenclaw, then we're good. And then Stacy comes up and Elaine comes up and then Tara supports, and we're a fucking rock star team. And then Melza holds the ministry house in order, so no asshole comes and tries to undermine me, because I'm like the acting minister in magic. But so like Melza will hold that seat. And so when somebody like Star comes along and starts telling me, oh, well, that should be Sue Storm. Sorry, Melza has like 20 years of Fortune 500 company HR, head of HR business qualifications. And she's a trained spiritualist. There is nobody more qualified than her to take this position on the planet. She is trustworthy, grounded, and reasonable. She has spent in her entire life taking on 500 requests and dealing with psychotic CEOs and bosses at the same time. Fairly, she has training in diversification of companies, racial. She has experience and trained legal practices dealing with sexual harassment and other crazy shit. So I am sorry, but there is nobody more qualified than Melza. So in the British parliamentary system, we have that permanent secretary. And that's what she is. So there is nobody that is going to outdo her, ever. 20 years working at companies like Huge, BuzzFeed, Razorfish, things that are like high-tech, millennial-oriented, being able to work with people from the new world. Not outdated assholes that can't even cope or keep up with the day-to-day business pace. Melza has done nothing but work her ass off day after day after day. So, she's the boss. So she'll sit in my ministry seat as I am down here being the head of Gryffindor. And then when she needs me to be a minister, then I'm a minister. Period. And then we'll get somebody else trained. And then Melza will train them. So there's that. There are too many lawsuits headed out for everybody, including all the false gurus that rape people for money and don't do anything properly. Fraud lawsuits, sexual harassment lawsuits, racist lawsuits, hate crimes lawsuits, everything. And Melza is well equipped to handle it all. Legally. Now, God has been training her diligently. The Hufflepuff Dilemma. You guys have had 20 years to Ascendio. 20 years. This planet Ascension has been like bing, bing, bing since 2000. For many generations, or many people, this has been going on since the 80s or the 70s. So everybody's been sitting diligently in Slytherin, pretending they were Hufflepuffs, but without ever having done the proper cook of their brain. Too much shadow, not enough underworld development. The Hufflepuff Dilemma. I am here on intergalactic mission to Ascendio a planet into 5D. Mandatory. Unity consciousness, love only. This is Hufflepuff Tiferet. This is not 4D Netsuck, where I can have power and fame and fortune and take all the money I want and then leave the little saint girls to starve to death on a beach and then get raped. That is Slytherin. We have closed off Netsuck. The only available tickets into Netsuck are for pre-approved Hufflepuff tickets. Netsuck into Hufflepuff until the beginning of 2022, January 1st. It will be officially cut off for good, even for Hufflepuff tickets. For the people who didn't process all the way, we are trying to Ascendio about 5 million people. There are a number of cities like Mysore, India, Sedona, Glastonbury, filled with residents and higher dense populations. There is an Aikido lineage, 500,000 people. We are choosing to Ascendio. We will obviously squib charm the abusive criminals and drug addicts. There is an island, Non-Nadal, which we are Ascendioing. Not all military professionals are being Ascendioed. The Navy SEALs in Coronado, the Marines in Camp Pendleton. We are doing firefighters all over the United States and with tickets across the planet. The SRF, the Hare Krishnas. We are Ascendoing up to about 5 million individuals who are prepped and ready. Have spent a lifetime being of service and of value. The Army Navy Academy for boys. University of Pennsylvania. Eton School for boys. Oh, too many boys. How about the U.S. Nationals field hockey girls that spend 2 times going to the U.S. Nationals in West Palm Beach, Florida. Hit the field 2 times and 2 times only, and you're Ascendio qualified. What else are we doing? The elite African chess clubs. African ballerina clubs. So we're staying away from the voodoos. And we're sendioing the people of higher intelligence and nonviolence. We will be ascendioing a huge amount of people in mass. This is Christ consciousness in mass. I was never, ever here to be a criminal and allow Slytherin. I will die to prevent Slytherin from ever manifesting on this planet. Die. I will give my life over and over again. I will be tortured to death. I am ready and prepared. I am Archangel Kamael. That is the job. Nobody is ascendioing without my permission. Nobody is ascendioing into magic without my permission. Nobody is allowed to make money off of magic on this planet without my permission. I'm an Ophanim, a Hayot, a High Seraphim, and an Archangel. I'm a mother and an aunt. And the way I have been treated in the astral planes and through lineage after lineage is a fucking cosmic joke. You guys are disgusting. If any of those people treated any of my children or my nieces like that, I would slit their throats. Netzach is for earth and nature and animals to thrive. It is not for emotional and spiritual masturbation of individuals like the Dalai Lama and Starfuentes. To be all force and no form. What a travesty and a joke. I am all love and light, but I knife rape, and then I don't do anything about it. That's not love and light. Wake the fuck up! Alright. Brooke was harassing me in the astral planes. How dare you think you can ascendio me without my permission? You, Brooke, do not have permission or a Nexa ticket to even exist on this planet, number one. You are not an 8th house candidate. So 1, eat that shit. Number 2, you are not entitled to magic. At all. So you can sit and hode with muggles all day long. Or you can ascendio in the next year. The muggles can ascendio into a Hufflepuff muggle version, which just means squib. She then complained, saying, there is an Ascension protocol to go from Hode into Tiferet. There is and there's not. Hode muggles going into Tiferet usually creates reavers. That would be something that a Hufflepuff would try to do because they don't know any better. And they have bad boundaries and inexcusable floundering energy. She's too fat and fucking lazy to actually do any of the real work. So she just wants to, do it on her own time. Reavers. Without a proper Netzach rot in the body, there is a repressed anger and emotions that sits inside the cellular system. So when you ascend into Tiferet or Hufflepuff, it triggers emotional jerk-off responses where you go psycho. So no, there is not an official gateway from Hode into Tiferet. 0, actually. We're blocking it off. Psychos. The only accessible way, if you do not make the year mark, is through a 6th house ticket. Not a Sith house ticket. 6th. That's Buffy the fucking Vampire Slayer. This means you will be given an assignment to, like, kill a Voldemort. Or wait, that's more like 7th. To train a Harry Potter to kill a Voldemort. Ninja training. Stick training. Hard training. Or to rehabilitate an old past life Voldemort into and up the tree so that they're no longer a problem on the planet. 6th house Buffies are there to give their lives in dangerous assignments. This is why it's referred to as CIA operatives. There are a number of children doing 6th house assignments right now on this planet. They are willing to give their existences to perpetuate a new world of love and of non-Slytherins. They will be taking out vampires and cunts and psycho knife-raping assholes. Whether it's like handing them to a cop or the FBI. $4D, the 5D. All right. Yeah. So there's a fifth house assignments is like buy some land and like set stuff up to create space and love and like. So Stacy is like immaculate at creating a 5th house environment. 6th house assignments. Hollywood is under a blacklist. They will have to do a 5th house, 6th house, and 7th house assignment to Ascendio the tree. That's their ticket through Netzach. I don't do famous little narcissists that let me starve to death. And they're all drug addicts right now anyway. All right, the 4D to 5D Ascension. Hode is 3D, Netzach's 4D, and Tiferet's 5D. There is a 4th dimensional body, which is a reptile body, and it looks like a human body, but reptile. It's kind of Voldemort-y, but like lizard. Doesn't have the pointy face. It can, but it's usually like really military oriented, super like not empathetic, and hates. It just hates. Okay? Everyone has one. Everybody. I am doing my best to prevent. I'm closing it off after this year. And I will be killing off everybody's leftovers except for the 6th house people. That reptile body needs to be integrated into your form to get through Netzach and to Ascendio. It should not be running around everywhere doing crap. It should be like, yeah, I'm ready to die to free some whales. Stuff like that. Jake Sully stuff. Heroic stuff. That's how you get through Slytherin, by the way. It's real easy to go from Slytherin into Tiferet when you're ready to die for it. Witches burn for their magic. Burn. They don't knife rape the little princesses. No, they get skewered to stakes and burned alive just for the ability to do their magic. Because they believe in God. If you're not willing to burn for your magic, then you get stuck in Hode. Alright, so you have the 40 reptile body. Then you have the 5D reptile body. And this one looks way more like T-Rex, like dragony. And it's got love. And so this one is more like your dragon body, and it can Ascendio into Tiferet. And then once you hit Tiferet, what will happen is you'll cook your brain. You'll start to notice the hate inside every single thought you have. And it will be like this python snake of devilly negativity finally being harnessed and just cooked out. So that you're not a demon anymore. So that your brain's not like, yeah, I'm a fucking cunt demon. Because once you hit Hufflepuff, you're like, yeah, like I'm a whole person with a soul. People in Hode don't have souls. That's why they're in Hode. Your ascension process into Hufflepuff is like baseline human. That's like where you're finally allowed to be in the divine. That's like the first basic level of humanity. The process of Stacy and I doing the ascension vehicles on the mass groups, we're having to do soul retrievals and people are like drinking it in. It's gross. They didn't have some people, one person that we did it with didn't even have a soul to ascend. And we had to open a Stargate portal from another galactic system to allow a soul part from his other lifetime to bring it back into his body. So that it's like you're not a human if you can't Ascendio into Hufflepuff. Muggles are not humans. Muggles are mutants. Muggles are people who are just robots. They have no consciousness to like not be on their iPhone all fucking day long. And like their iPhone all day long, just doing robotic nonsense, that's their mirror. Divinity and humanity begins at Hufflepuff. Sorry. We will Ascendio 5 million individuals into Hufflepuff by the end of the year on a planet of 8 billion people. The virtues that come through with Hufflepuff: charity, humanity, humility, mind control, like their ability to control their thoughts. So that people aren't like sending crap everywhere all day long. Like robots. They're free of blame. They have gratitude. But the real big one is that they're finally real people. Not fake. They're authentic. They're real boys and real girls. Instead of robots. Once you hit your 5D reptile body, and with all the magic, you're going to be ascending into Hufflepuff. Period. And that's a good thing. Like, trustworthy. Trustworthy. Friend. So if I get knife raped by you in the astral plane, I could tell you I'm being knife raped by you in the astral plane. And then you send me back an email going, oh crap, I need to do a Know Me book. I'm sorry. Simple. Non-drama. We can hold each other accountable. The reason for the charity component is that once you hit Hufflepuff, you realize that you were a total piece of shit and vapid narcissist up until Hufflepuff. And so you spend your entire time doing work for free because you realize all you're doing is cleaning up the messes you created. It doesn't matter if there are like 6 billion robots on the planet. You just do charity work because you're cleaning up your own shit. So you don't care about all day long, giving charity healings to everybody, including the muggles. In Hufflepuff, we're not greedy. You know what we do? We manifest asshole celebrities or rich people that will fund us. And then we help them. That's the solution. We don't rape like 30-year-old millennials that have $5 in their bank account and tell them like they can't ascendio into Hufflepuff unless they pay us $8,000. That's a fraud crime. Unity consciousness does not work. It's like, that's Slytherin. We can't receive Christ rays of consciousness without joining one specific cult. All right. My qualifications. I'm an older soul than everybody on this planet. All of you guys are stupid fucks. I am the elder. I have ascendioed 5 planets before. 3 of them were knife raper planets. Knife raper karma planets. One of them was a demon in hell karma planet, like this one. And the other was a raper planet. The knife raper planets were a success. The raper planet was a fucking cinch. The demon in hell planet didn't go so well. There is a key difference to what this demon in hell planet was. I think it was a demon in hell planet level 2. And this one's a level 3. Now, there is a key difference between this planet and that one. 1, I didn't have Charlie. I had Lucifer, but I did not have Charlie. I also had Isla, my niece, and a boatload of kids. But it's not the same. I didn't have Hades. So when Lucy is not helping with the gates of hell, Hades is. So now I have my 3 big boys, Charlie, Hades, and Lucifer. And I didn't have 2 of them. All right, the next dragon I didn't have real well was Gracie. I had her, but not like I have her now. All right, I didn't have Simon. In fact, I was working against assholes that were like Simon, but unconverted into Hufflepuff. Simon's already like a Hufflepuff without a brain cook. Sometimes I can still see the Slytherin inside of him, and he hasn't even done his Netsock egg or his Tiferet egg, and we still have like 11 months. And he's already crossed the Hufflepuff Nexa. So there's that. And he picks up a wand and like understands he's about to start getting his high out initiations. So just to give us a frame of reference. I had Elijah back then, but he was too busy shooting blanks and jerking off like a dumb shit turd. We didn't have the technology back then on this demon in hell planet. I have like 50,000 technologies, like so many technologies coming through. We also didn't have Kelly. So that's a fucking difference. It's just genius. So right now I like download technology after technology of magics that I can just put like necklaces on people and it activates like 50 things in their energetic bodies. So we didn't have that. There was something like the mystery school there, of course. It's not the same. What else did we not have? So besides, we didn't have the technology. I wasn't in Gryffindor. I was in Hufflepuff. I was in Hufflepat. I was still patting myself on the back for anything good I was doing. Instead of like burning 5 million more times. This goes more population. So there was a higher population density on that planet than there was on this one. There was less ascendable people. So there would have been like 1 million people on that planet versus 5 million people on this one. So I had less dragons. I also didn't have Pearl. So like that's like Charlie's counterpart dragon. So like we were really missing out. We didn't have Allison Bacon. So I don't know that I came with a verified Auror. Allison Bacon is the only fully approved Auror on this planet. I will be building the Auror program with her until everybody can be trained into that. You have to have full access to your twin flame and understand all of the nuances to those magics to be an Auror. And Allison has all of it. She might not be fully cooked yet, but she's gonna be real soon. That planet, the people were less advanced. And there was less just like actual technology. So like less computers, like less things that I could like use to ascendio people. So there's a real big fuck difference between this planet Ascension and that planet Ascension. And on top of that, we have like a boatload of archangels on this planet. A boatload. At least 100. Okay? And we have 100 archangels. And so we've already passed the knife raper karma prison. And we're now in a pedophilia level. So we went from deep fuck red into the orange, now into like orangey yellow territory. So I'm going to be spending the next year cleaning up the pedophilia karma prison on this planet. And we're going to see how long that takes. I still have to clean up a lot of the FGM. It's not as bad as the official knife rape, but it's still a giant sex crime. And then so the pedophilia and the FGM are now like, that's this year. Next year I will be working on rape and other forms of torture. And then we can ascendio from there. It is easy to ascendio a suicide prison. Seriously. Oh my god, I'm in hell. I have a karma of suicide. I might as well just kill myself ascending. Like, it's sad, but it's true. So suicidal people are actually very simple to ascend. Because they're already ready to die, and like they're already have empty cups. So like it's easy to get a suicidal person to go, this is the light. Now we can bring you into the light, into Tiferet. So that's simpler. So that's in the emotional body and the spiritual body and the physical bodies through the mirror prism on the planet. All right, anything else? All right, so hell systems and failures. All right, so for a demon in hell prison planet, this is the biggest problem, is bad communication. So in demon and hell prison planets, it's like this. Like I get knife raped for 3 months, and then the asshole who's knife raping me is shoving down my throat that she's gonna sue me if I tell anybody. And then also I tell everybody, and then they still choose her side. That's a demon in hell planet. So you have to find, so the biggest thing is that like you have to find like the people who like you know for 100 facts like wouldn't choose her side, and like you have to claw out, and you have to be vocal, and you have to put them down. You have to. They're so gross. This is part of the reason why, like, Goodney could still thrive on this planet. Like, he sexually harassed me, and somehow everybody thinks he's gonna ascend into the Christ? Are you kidding? like Dave Lanyon's like raping women and they're gonna ascend into the Christ. You guys don't consider it rape? Did you ask those girls? Or are they too cult programmed? That's rape. If you cult program somebody to accept it to not be rape, it's definitely fucking rape. All sex cults work is Slytherin. All of it. This planet is like, should be like not doing Tantra. There's nobody, they're like, we're just descending people into Hufflepuff. Who the fuck has a Tantra school where it's not rape? Zero. None. It's all irreverent. There are children that are starving everywhere, and you guys are getting off on each other and like making money off of it. Oh my God. Jesus is not impressed. All right. The Haniel. All right. So to pass the Gryffindor, to ever get your knife raper marks or angel marks, and get into Gryffindor and probably Ravenclaw, you have to have 100% pass all Haniel exams. This is legit. This is a known problem across all star systems. That women or men come in. I don't care if this is a no Slytherin Ascension, but women and men will come in to Slytherin. All right, from off the streets, and they'll be heroes, okay? And they'll pass a Gryffindor Nexa, but they'll choose Slytherin. And these people are Haniels. And what this is like, these are like Buffies. So they'll choose Slytherin because they think that like they're so comfortable in the dark. This is kind of like a Severus Snape, okay? They're so comfortable in the dark that they don't, like, they can't handle, because they might be really wounded from past traumas. They can't handle the goody two-shoeness of Gryffindor. They can't handle, like, the Hufflepuff. So what they should do is choose Ravenclaw, and then they can keep that dark goth edge and go like that. But they don't. They just choose Slytherin. They won't fit into Slytherin, ever. So these people are also heroes. Heroes. Any Haniel is a Gryffindor. Many historically have been kidnapped, tortured, and raped by Slytherins because they get locked out of Gryffindor because the Gryffindors treat them like shit. So this could be Jordan or Teresa right now who are getting raped by Goodney. Because, I'm treating them like shit, but I'm not, you know? But, like, if the Gryffindors aren't smart or aren't being run by somebody like me and Kelly, the Gryffindors get all rigid and fucking dumb and arrogant. That's a known problem. And they get all masculine and a little over-domineering. And that's why we're having the women be the heads of houses everywhere. Because we think 5 million layers in. And Haniels get screwed. Because Dumbledores lock them out. A lot of those times, those Haniels are Kamaels. So, like, my nieces are Honiels. They ain't in Slytherin, though. They're Gryffindors. And one of them might be a Ravenclaw already. So, if you lock out a Honiel out of Hufflepuff, out of Gryffindor, out of Ravenclaw, because they weren't. So it doesn't matter if we have a no Slytherin system. You guys have to pass these protocol tests to get into Gryffindor or Ravenclaw. Because for me to allow you guys to Ascendio and then think that your next fucking lifetime you can go to a planet that actually has a Slytherin house system and you haven't been properly trained with the proper download and fucking Honiel training, then I'm not Archangel Kamael. Then some other fucking asshole is. And I'm just the galactic representative of Kamael on the planet. Gross. So, now, you will have to know how to identify these individuals. You'd actually have to know how to read nexas. You will have to know, and I will be creating the tests with Kelly, and we will figure it out together. But that's the point. You have to pass the tests to get your marks. The biggest component of that is we will always have like secret houses. We will also have a full-on sixth house system with a head of sixth house woman who's not even like, I'm not the head of Gryffindor or the head of Ravenclaw or the fifth house or Hufflepuff. I'm just the head of the sixth house, and that's Elaine. So those Honiels in an emergency, instead of getting kidnapped and tortured and raped by some fucking Slytherin, because that's history, they would go to Elaine and ask for help, and then Elaine would be on the phone, and it would be like Mrs. Fig, but not. And then Elaine would be on the phone with me, and Elaine would be on the phone with Dumbledore, and all the, just everything. And the fucking ministry, making sure that those Honiels would be fine. There will also be a secondary house system that, like, in Gryffindor, there will be like, oh, you're a Honiel. We would, like, magically put you in a little isolation chamber inside of the Hufflepuff room. So there are key secret hideouts in each house system, in each house room, to make sure all the little Honiels are fucking fine. Hiding out from Slytherins. You guys have no idea how many planets I've been on and how much memory I have. It's gross. I am a drill sergeant. This is a no nonsense Ascension. I am disgusted. Kali Ren out.